Thank you very much, mate. We're out here in Sydney Heliport. This is the Kia EV6 lifestyle launch. We're going to jump in this EC130, which is good because the other one over there is an EC120. And we've got an hour flight to Canberra. How good, DC? You and me, backseat bandits.
Hey, what's the Wi-Fi password?
I don't know about you, but AirPods was the #1 helicopter hack. How good is that? All right, we're at the Margaret Whitlam Pavilion, just outside of Canberra. Beautiful fly-in, gorgeous location. So we're here to check out the Kia EV6. This is the first time I've actually seen the car in the flesh. Let's have a quick little peek. It's looking very, very futuristic. Here we go, this is the key to the Kia EV6 in Australia for the first time. All electric, and it's looking bloody hot today, as it also is bloody hot generally today. I think it looks fantastic from this 45-degree angle. At the front, we've got the new Kia logo here. It's all, seems to be all one piece of sort of forged aluminium there, which looks fantastic, I think. Also around the front here, they've kept like some sort of defined, it's like there's obviously not a vent because it's an electric vehicle, but you know, you see in the Teslas and stuff, it's just all plain, and it kind of looks like a bit weird where there's no pronounced nose at the front, but I like how it's sculpted in. Some faux air intakes down the sides, LED lights, which is standard, of course. Moving down to the back of the car now, it has this very similar silhouette to the Jaguar I-Pace, which I actually drove when I was in Portugal. That was almost 4 years ago, which is crazy to think that it's taken this long for more EVs to get to the Australian market. But here we are, this is the key. It's already pre-locked, pre-opened there for me. We've got the same door handles that you might find on, I don't know, say an Aston Martin even, or a Tesla. If you notice here, you can move the car forward and backwards while it's in park, so you don't even have to get into the car to do that. Lock, unlock, boots, obviously, and a hold for the engine start. This is the rear end. I'm loving this pronounced LED light bar. All the premium European cars are doing it at the moment. Bit of Hayden James on the speakers here, so excuse that. But interestingly, you can see the lines from the front of the car here are coming all the way down the back through this rear aero spoiler, which actually doesn't have a windscreen wiper, but doesn't seem to be in the back there. So I assume the air coming across the top of the car is actually just going to keep the back of the car nice and clean and free of the water. Let's have a look at the boot space. Fair bit of room, really, considering I've heard there's some great legroom in the back, which we'll check out shortly. But I mean, it's doing the job. Not a heap, but it's enough. All right, let's have a look at the interior now. Ooh. First impressions, and this is genuinely the first time I've actually sat in this car, but it is incredibly, incredibly premium. As far as the materials go, I mean, this screen is insane. You've got a bit of an Alcantara, even looks like down here on the seats. Check out that headrest, bit of a new design. Looks like a very comfortable seat to be in for a long, long time. There's a sunroof up here as well, which I won't open because it is 35 degrees outside. As far as the center console here goes, oh wow, I've just noticed it actually drops off. There's nothing in between there. That's quite cool. So it sort of protrudes out a bit like a spaceship or something. And I'm seeing heaps of storage down here, which is great to put your handbags or whatever. 2 cup holders, quite practical space here to put your phone, wireless charging, which is great too. And quite a considerably deep tub there in the center. EV start button seems to be here. Let's give it a go. Very nice. So there's a heads-up display, which you can see there. We've got our main instrument cluster here, which has everything else, all the fun stuff that you need to know about the car. And then you've got your infotainment system, charging, and everything off to the left here. I'm going to turn this down a bit because it is bloody hot outside. And then if I just go, yeah, perfect. So that's all touch screen there. It kind of looks like a bit of a matched screen though. And if I go to nav, cool, then you've got all your options there. So this actually changes, which is quite cool. Along the top here of this little protrusion we have, you've got heated and cooled seats, definitely got the cool on at the moment, your start stop button and your gears in a rotator sort of system. This seems a little bit cheap in my opinion, that particular material, especially if you're going to be using it a fair bit. The steering wheel though, I'm loving the steering wheel. I think this is a really great design. I haven't actually driven the car yet, so I'll have to speak to it a little bit more when I get out. But so far, it feels premium, looks good. It's a yes from me. And otherwise, I just feel like this entire interior is orientated towards the driver. Great view at the back, and obviously quite an airy, light and airy cabin, I assume, with the sunroof open. So I'm sure you can see in the sun here that while this whole thing sort of carries right across to the left-hand side of the car, you can kind of see where the screen starts and stops. So it's not all one screen. We've got two screens, one here and one here. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto are standard in the EV6, but it looks like, from what I've been told as well, it's not actually wireless, which is a bit silly considering you've got a wireless charger and everything else, but you still have to plug in your phone for Apple CarPlay, which is kind of a rookie mistake in my opinion. Other than that though, and I've yet to go for a drive, this is a really, really nice place to be. I reckon I'm going to take this red one here. First cab off the rank. Aircon's on, water's in the door, 91% battery, I'll take it. This is our drive route for the day. DC's in the car with me. And then hopefully, I reckon in the next few weeks or months or so, we'll be doing a drive in this in our lunch run series, which is on Instagram and Facebook. But right now, I'm just going to enjoy the experience, soak it all in, and hopefully I'll have some comments for you shortly thereafter. I've yet to be in the back though, because it's an EV, it's a new platform. You have so much more room between the front wheels and the rear wheels because there's lack of an engine, right? So you can stick the motor pretty much wherever you want, and the batteries go down low to keep the center of gravity low. So you get so much more real estate inside the car in an EV, when realistically it's not that big of a car. We've got the Type 2 charger of the EV6 hooked up to the coffee machine, and it's actually powering everything. So you can reverse the power of the battery pack back out into alternative appliances, which is really quite cool. The EV6 has a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery, which is charged through this Type 2 standard charge point here. You can see the battery obviously is displayed up here as well as in the car. It takes about 18 minutes to get from 10% to 80%, which is actually pretty compelling, really. So the Kia EV6 Air entry-level model is $67,990. We've got the GT rear-wheel drive at $72,990, and then the GT full spec all-wheel drive is $84,990, and then the eGT, when that comes at the end of the year, will be probably clipping about 100K, which is a fair bit to ask for a Kia, but at the same time, you're probably dialing into a proper sports car sort of range, and the premium features to match as well. But I mean, you can see this fleet here in front of me. It's looking really, really sharp. Even I was just noticing it's got like a pearl, like a matte pearl finish on this one, which I quite like. Red's not for me, nor is the black, to be honest. I actually preferred the model that was on show, that matte grey. I think it looks the best for sure. The white's kind of alright. Let's have a quick look at the back, because I know that's something that I was quite impressed with when I saw it in its static form. Whoa. Okay, have a go at this. So there is plenty of space. Look, we've got charge points for USB-C on the sides of these seats, which, as I said before, it's got quite an interesting headrest sort of configuration, but I'm liking it so far. And as far as headroom, it's actually pretty compelling. I think if I pull that, oh yeah, my seat can actually go backwards, which is a bit hard to see in its current form, but you can even slouch back, bring it forward, bring it back, set your optimum reclining distance. We've got Meridian sound here. This is the GT line, so it's got the 14 speaker surround sound system. I mean, look over the shoulder here. It's a very sophisticated cabin, quite futuristic, not too out there though. Like, the average person could easily jump into this car from any other car they're coming from previously and not be overwhelmed. I'm a big fan of how this is orientated towards the driver as well. Like, it's got a bit of a tilt on it. I mean, it's like the finishing is, so this is recycled, isn't it? Yeah. This top bit, the floor mats have been recycled. A whole bunch of this car's actually been recycled, which is impressive, I guess. When you're an EV, you've got to push the sustainable angle. Vegan leather, of course. Man, the space down here though is really like quite impressive, because a lot of cars just don't utilize this space. But you can just pop a handbag in there. You can do anything you want. You've got USB-C and USB chargers down there too.
We're off to Shore Wines, which I am absolutely stinging for a drink. What about you? Can't wait.
How good? Where are we? Shore Wines.
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna have a couple of wines.
I think it's time.
Or 10?
Knock it back.
I don't get helicopters without a few wines in me, so I think you're the same.
Yeah, buddy.
This is a setup for a few sundowners on a Wednesday, but we've actually got a little Sportage. I'm gonna be cheeky and jump on the grass here. Kia Sportage, in my opinion, is one hell of a good looking mid-size SUV. I'm loving the front end. Everything about these sort of Zorro headlights looking really sharp. This has got like a bit of an olive green, which I like as well. And the black pack. I mean, this Sportage, if it's anything on the inside like what we've just experienced then, is a very, very compelling car. And I actually would seriously consider it if I was in the mid-size SUV market. Looks good, can't deny that. Let's go get a wine or two, eh? How bloody good. Here is Shore Wines, beer in hand, and the Kia EV6. It is a very, very compelling package. I can tell you from experience that I-Pace, which I drove from Jaguar, north of $100,000. There's not too much of a difference between that and the EV6. Kia's doing some incredible things at the moment. I really think they need to be respected. They've come a long way as a brand, and they're only going to go further. Excited to get this on the road, do a proper test drive and a full week with the car to see what it's actually like living with an EV, especially a Kia. And I think now I can hear the chop chop, and we're out of here. Subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. Just hit it down here. We've got a couple more cool things coming up. That was the first look at the Kia EV6 in Australia. Plenty more to come, lots more to unpack. Very much looking forward to it. Subscribe here. How good.